Hello, welcome. Today we are going to work on those glutes. I do want you to make sure that you have yoga blocks. Otherwise, if you don't have yoga blocks, make sure you grab a chair for some parts of this, or even a stool that you can place your hands on. And maybe you want to have a pillow or a bolster handy just in case you want to use that for some of the poses too. We're going to start into a seated position, beginning with a little bit of mobility. So let's take those feet in front of us. Feet are about as wide as the mat, so a little bit wider than your hips here. And we're gonna begin by letting those knees just fall from one side to the next. Let them windshield wiper from side to side. And then we're gonna end with our right side down, coming up, placing the hands on either side of the right knee, and then we're gonna flex the left foot. Take a deep inhale, lift the left foot off the mat, and then release it down. And lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. So as you lift, this should just be coming right from your glute here. Your outer glute should be lifting this heel up and down. Getting right into it today. All right, let's hold it up, lift it up. Good, lift it up a little bit higher. Let's pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now keeping it lifted, we're gonna push that heel back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Release that down. We're going to extend the left leg all the way straight, coming right into pigeon. Now, if you need your yoga block or the pillow to place underneath that right hip, you can get that front leg more at a 90-degree angle. If you don't have those props, it's okay if that front leg doesn't come to 90 degrees. Good. Now let's take those palms a little bit wider, coming high up onto the fingertips. Deep inhale in, find length. Exhale, release the chest down towards the mat. Forehead releases down. Press through those fingertips. Shoulder blades come up. Inhale, forehead is the last thing to come up. Exhale, release down. Inhale, roll up. And exhale, release. One more time. Good. Go ahead and place those palms back underneath you. Remove your prop if you have it. And then we're going to bend the left knee, coming back to our windshield wipers, letting those knees come side to side. This time, maybe you want to try to advance it. You're going to stack the forearms on top of each other, really rolling to each side. Maybe you even can lift that hip up. Coming to the side, pressing the hip up. Squeezing the glutes as you press the hip up. Squeeze the glute. Roll to the side and squeeze. Last time here. Good, let's stay on this left side. Flexing both feet. This should be at a 90-degree angle, knee coming right out from the hip. Right foot is flexed. Hands frame the left knee. Inhale, exhale, lift the right foot towards the ceiling and release. And lift, and lower, and lift, and lower. So now really try to focus on targeting this right to your glute, lifting and lowering that heel. Good, keep going. Last time, let's hold it up. Pulse up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to push it back for 10, 9. Like you're pushing something really hard. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Go ahead and send that right leg back. Using your prop underneath the left hip if you need it. Palms come in front of you. Let's take those palms a little bit wider, high onto the fingertips. Deep inhale, find length. Exhale, release the chest down towards the mat. Forehead releases last. Press the shoulders to the ceiling. Inhale, forehead comes up. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. And lower. Good. Inhale, come up. Plant those hands. Roll back onto your bottom. Let's kick the feet off to the side and come to a tabletop position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Just running through a few cat-cows here. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the gaze. If it feels good, you can lift the hips to the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the chin, squeeze the core, and tuck the pelvis. Inhale, lift, and exhale, round. Keep going, letting your breath determine the pace of your movement here. Coming to neutral position, we're going to tuck the toes, send the hips to the ceiling, chest comes to the thighs. Coming to down dog. Taking a moment, pedal those feet out, bending the knees, pressing the heels down. And go ahead and take the feet a little bit closer together. We're going to inhale the right foot to the ceiling and then open the hips so that they're stacked on top of each other. You're going to bend that top knee. I want you to focus on keeping the shoulders square to the mat though. Let's draw little circles or big circles with that right knee for 3 in one direction. And then switch for 3 in the opposite direction. Good. Go ahead and extend that right leg. And then we're going to swoop it all the way through between the hands. Inhale, the arms come up overhead. Exhale, sink the hips down. So the left glute is squeezing, protecting you. Drop the palms together at heart center. We're going to shift the weight into a front foot. Begin to lean forward and lift that back foot off the mat. So, might not have it that high. I really want you to find length here and find this focal point to focus your gaze on. Let's reach those arms back overhead. Inhale, we're going to tap the toe onto the ground, squeeze the glute. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, come up, tap. And exhale, hinge. Inhale, come up. And exhale, hinge. Good. Inhale, come all the way up. We're going to drop those feet side by side at the top of the mat. We're going to work through a little bit of a hip flow here. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Take those palms to touch. We're going to turn the toes out at an angle, heels are in. Exhale, we're going to take the arms down to heart center as the knees come wide, coming to deep Malasana squat. Now, before we flow through this, let's take a moment to just really get into these hips. So maybe you rock from one side to the next. Just releasing, getting ready for this flow. So we'll take a pause here. Palms come together. Deep inhale. Exhale out. Plant those palms. Hips come to the ceiling. Toes come parallel. Inhale. Hands to shins or thighs flat back. Exhale. Release down. With your inhalation, power all the way up. Palms come back together. Exhale. Hands down to heart center. So that's going to be our flow. We'll work through that a little bit faster now. Inhale. Reach up. Palms come together, toes turn out, exhale, sink all the way down into Malasana. Now, if you're all the way up here, that's okay. Take a deep inhale wherever you are. Exhale, let it go. Plant those hands. Lift the hips, toes come parallel. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, release down. Inhale, come all the way up overhead. Palms come to touch. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, finally. Exhale, sink into Malasana. Elbows can come to the inside of the knees. Press the knees wide. Deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Drop those palms, lift the hips. Inhale, find length in the spine. And exhale, release down. Use your inhalation, swoop all the way up. Palms come together. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Go ahead and turn over your left shoulder so you're facing me. And if that's your right shoulder, you can do that. And then I'm going to take my yoga blocks at the highest level here, right in front of me. And this is where if you don't have yoga blocks, make sure you have a chair that you can place your hands on or a stool. Let's go ahead and take a deep inhale in, find length, and then exhale, forward fold. We're going to release the hands onto the blocks. So we're in this forward fold. Take a deep inhale in, and then as you exhale, we're going to shift the weight to the right foot and lift the left foot off, and then slowly release it back down. Inhale, exhale, lift. Using that glute to lift the foot up. Good. Last time, we're going to hold it here. Point the toe, little circles for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then opposite direction for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Slowly release it down. Let your head just release. Maybe take those feet a little bit wider here. Weight can go a little bit more into the balls of the feet, and you can grab onto your elbows if it feels good. Just let your head rock from one hip to the next. Maybe you bend your knee as you rock into that hip. Go ahead and bend your knees, roll all the way up to standing. And then we're going to take our feet wide. Toes are going to turn out. Heels are going to come in. Inhale, let's reach those arms up overhead. Exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees, sink down into goddess. Inhale, press through the feet, power back up, find length. Exhale, sink down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, release. Last time, inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale, stand up. We're going to windmill over the left shoulder. Frame that left foot and then step all the way back into down dog. So now we're facing the back of the mat. We're going to take these feet a little closer together. Inhale, left foot comes to the ceiling. Open the hips. Keep the shoulders square. Bend that top knee. Big circles 3 times in one direction. For 1, 2, 3. Opposite way. 1, 2, 3. Straighten the left leg. Go ahead and swoop it between your hands. Inhale, come all the way up overhead. So we're in this high lunge. Palms come together at heart center. Shift your weight forward. Lift the right foot off the mat. Find your balance first, and then extend your arms back overhead. Inhale, let's tap the right foot as you come up to an upright position. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale, hinge forward, keeping that long spine. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, tap. And hinge. And last time, tap. And hinge. Slight bend in that supporting leg. Come all the way up to standing. Shake it off if you need to for a second. We're going to flow through that Malasana squat once more. Inhale, reach the arms up. Palms come to touch. Turn the feet out. Heels in. Exhale, sink all the way down into Malasana. Coming to your level here. Elbows come to the inside of the knees. Grow tall. Deep inhale. Exhale, let it go. Plant those hands. Lift the hips. Toes come parallel. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, release. Use that power of the inhalation, bringing yourself all the way up overhead. Palms come to touch. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, come up. Palms together, toes turn out. Exhale, sink down. Deep inhale. Exhale out. Plant the hands, lift the hips. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, come all the way up. And hands come down to heart center. Last time, reach up and sink into Malasana. Deep inhale. Exhale, let it out. Plant the hands, lift the hips. Find length as you inhale. And exhale, release. Power all the way back up. Palms to touch. Exhale, hands down to heart center. Turn over your right shoulder. Now, if you need those props here, place them in front of you. Take a few moments, take a deep breath. We're gonna inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhale, release the hands down onto your prop. Taking a deep inhale in here. Your spine is long, shift your weight into your left foot. Exhale, lift up your right foot. Inhale, release. Exhale, lift. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last time. Let's hold it here. Point the toe. Circle for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opposite way for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Control it slowly back down. Bend the knees. Roll all the way up. Awesome. Let's go ahead and remove those props. Coming back to the top of the mat here. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands come to shins or thighs, flat back. Exhale, plant those hands. Step down to tabletop position. We're going to kick the feet off to the side and come down onto our bottoms. Now, if you want to roll onto your side to get down onto your back, that is the best, safest way to do, especially if you're early postpartum. Coming onto our backs, the feet are going to come a little bit closer to your bottom. Palms are going to be down flat into the mat. Now, I want you to begin by scooping the pelvis underneath you so that your glutes are already firing, and maybe you feel a little bit of tightness within the lower belly. Use your hands to just kind of feel around there. And then pressing the feet into the mat, we're going to lift the hips. Glutes are squeezing, pressing the hips up, and inhale, slowly lower the hips down. Exhale, scoop the hips, squeeze the glutes. You might not get that high here. That's okay. We're doing a proper glute bridge here. And release. And lift. Inhale, release. And lift. And lower. Good. We're going to continue that, but we're going to march it out. So as we lift, let's lift the left knee in towards us. So you're just pressing into the right heel. And then slowly lower that foot down as the hips release down. Exhale, switch. Left foot is on the mat. Right knee is driving up. And lower. And lift. Squeeze the glute at the top. Lower. And lift. And lower. One more time each side. Good. Lower down. From here, right foot is going to stay in the mat. Let's cross the left ankle over the right thigh. You can just stay here and press that left knee open. Otherwise, let's thread through, taking onto the back of your right thigh, flexing both feet, and then maybe you want to rock a little bit here from side to side. Go ahead and slowly release that right foot down. We're gonna lift the hips up, moving to the right side of the mat. Option to cross that left leg all the way over the right, or just uncross it and stack your knees on top of each other. Arms are gonna come to a T, and then let your knees fall over to the right side. Your gaze can go wherever feels best on your neck. On your next inhale, slowly take your knees to center. Let's uncross the legs if they aren't already. Hips come to center, feet are gonna come as wide as the mat, and then let's use that windshield wiper back and forth to release any tension in the lower back and the hips. Before we switch to the opposite side here, left foot stays in the mat, right ankle crosses over, staying here, pressing that right knee open or threading through, grabbing onto the back of the left thigh, rock from side to side. Slowly releasing the left foot down, lifting the hips up, take them to the right side of the mat, either crossing that leg over or stacking them. Let your knees fall over to the left. Gaze goes wherever feels best. Just soaking up this time to stretch your body out. You worked hard today. Your glutes worked really hard today. Whatever happened, if you noticed that maybe things weren't firing, maybe some poses were a little bit harder than others, just tune into that and know that there's nothing wrong. It's okay. You can come back to this practice as often as you need, or practice those moves that maybe were a little more challenging for you. On your next inhale, slowly coming back to center, uncross the legs, taking the knees into the chest this time. Maybe you rock a little bit from side to side, massage the lower back. Plant the feet down onto the mat, roll over to your side and press yourself up. Be proud of yourself for showing up in your practice today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have an amazing day. We'll see you soon. Namaste.